Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine and I'm back here to review another episode of CBS's Big Brother Season 21, episode number 8. In my opinion, things went exactly the way that I thought that they would, so I was not surprised at all. There were quite a few people on social media who upset me. I was just like, well, it is what it is. Even after the HOH competition, I was like, well, it is what it is. If this is the way the game is going to go, it's going to go. But hopefully somebody rocks the boat, because if not, y'all are just chilling this summer and making a safe passage for Jack and Jackson to get to the final 5, final 4, final 3, and the final 2. I don't know what else to say, considering everything that has happened in the last 24 hours and all the revelations that were revealed. Things are about to get very, very crazy. All right, so Jack was the HOH. Kimmy and Jessica are on the block. Kimmy is the target. We've known that for a while. Sam won the veto, but he didn't use it. Jack was happy Sam didn't use the veto. Jack knows that he has to send Kimmy to Camp Comeback with a smile on her face because she could return in the game. As far as Camp Comeback is concerned, I have no idea who's going to return. Everybody keeps saying David. I'm not sure who's going to, but if David ends up returning to this game, hopefully he actually plays the game well, because as I said in last night's review, it's one thing to watch from the outside looking in, and it's another thing to experience it. So hopefully he does not flop, because we don't need any more flops this season. Jessica said that she won't have much campaigning to do this week. But come this weekend, she will be nominated. Unless, of course, they decide to backdoor her. And Kimmy says she has some work to do, and she did the work. The problem was that the house guests didn't want to upset the apple cart. They didn't want to rock the boat. They wanted to just go along and do what they had to do, because they feel like at this point their games are safe. Kimmy's the target. Let her go and everything will be fine. But the problem with letting Kimmy go after all these divisions and all these fights have happened, and yeah, things are about to get crazy this weekend. So Cliff thinks keeping either Jessica or Kimmy is good, because if they win HOH, they'll go after one of the big targets. Well, that didn't happen, obviously, because Nick won HOH. Ovi returning to the game is a good thing. No, it isn't, because he is Jack and Jackson's pet, despite the fact of knowing that Jack and Jackson played him. Now, Cliff, Ovi, and Nicole are in an alliance called the Fellowship of the Zing, which did not last very long at all. We got a segment about Nick and Bella's showmance, Annalise and Jack's steamy showmance, and we saw like a teensy bit of them getting it on in the dark. That's why you saw like the green light, because that's what we live feeders see when the lights aren't on. They have like the infrared, I think it's called the infrared camera or something like that. Then we get to see a little bit of Cliff's daily routine, which led into Cliff Notes. For those of you who do not have the feeds, Cliff Notes are Cliff's little like conversations he has with the live feeders, with his family and such. He's been doing it for a long time so far in this game. However, what he doesn't know is someone overheard him and it completely screwed up his game, but he's unaware of that. And this segment we saw Christy snooping outside of the room, and she heard all the tea. Not only did he ruin his game, he ruined Nicole's game. He also ruined the idea to flip the house to save Kimmy. He ruined a lot of things. And Christy took that info and basically told her crew that was in her room and said that Cliff needs to go soon. Kimmy and Nicole are on the same page about Bella starting the Black Widows. Nicole tells Kimmy that Bella is the one that spilled the tea on Kimmy. If only Kimmy knew this from the beginning, and she knew she could trust Nicole from the beginning, because really she felt like the only person that she could trust was Bella. And people have been saying, and I'm basically paraphrasing from social media, that Kimmy was stupid for believing in Bella. The thing about it was that Kimmy didn't know Bella was doing what she was doing until Michi, or Jack, revealed it to her. Then she also had that conversation with Nicole, and everything started clicking. And Kimmy thought that she could use that information that she learned from Nicole to her advantage. Well, she chatted with Jackson. She told him that Bella started the Black Widows, and she told him all that mess that Bella had said, including about a final 3 with Jack and Jackson. Now, Jackson realizes that he and the rest of their alliance cannot trust Bella, and he tells Kimmy that he's not sure who he would keep as far as between her and Jessica. We knew he was going to get rid of Kimmy. That's what we assumed until we saw the live vote. So Jackson tells Jack about Bella and Jackson's conversation with Kimmy, and Jack is like, can you really trust Kimmy? And Jackson's like, dude, she knew about our final 3 with Bella. How the hell does she know that? So he also told Jack about how Bella spilled all this tea about just about everything. So then we got to the segment where Christy, okay, we got to the next part, not the segment. It was the next part of the conversation where Christy heard Cliff was coming for all of the couples, and he included Christy and Tommy into that scenario like they're the 4th couple in the house now. Nobody knows that Christy and Tommy know each other. So now that's going to put a question mark over Christy and Tommy, especially even though Christy said what she said. And the thing about that little bond also is that Christy came back in that room and she was scrambling, and people are going to think about that. And I could see somebody going into the diary room in production kind of saying, well, you know, Christy and Tommy, or 2 people know each other. I'm waiting for that moment to happen because I feel like it's going to happen soon. So Bella tells Sam that there's an 8-person alliance and that he's not a part of this. And she tells him so that he'll be loyal to her. I'm like, here goes Bella running her mouth again. Now we get to see Sam's diary room segment, and he's shocked by this. It changes everything that he thought about the game. Now he's just like, why should he send Kimmy home if he's not even in the in crowd? I'm just like, exactly. So Sam wants to flip the vote, but he approaches Jack about it, and he says, you know, Kimmy wants you out, but Jessica wants all the men out. And Jack was like, listen, we have to do whatever is best for Grateful. Oh, no, I mean R9. And I'm just like, dude, you slipped and you told the one person who's not in your alliance about the alliance. That's how you can tell he thinks he has it like that. I think he's going to be humbled one day very, very soon. So we made it to the live vote and eviction. Pretty much Jess's final speech was like, you know, we've been in the house for 23 days. It's been crazy and hard, but I've been blessed. She's proud for who she is and what she stands for. She's not an emotional player, and she's loyal to a T. Little does Jessica know that she's next. She's definitely next, and we'll talk about that when I talk about Nick winning the HOH. Kimmy is happy to have been in the house for 3 weeks. Kimmy looked amazing standing up there doing her speech, and she was calm, cool, and collective. She didn't go crazy. She didn't go ghetto. She didn't do anything that anybody thought she was going to do. Even when she outed Nick and Bella, as both of them looked uncomfortable, Kimmy kept her cool. She was very eloquent. I was proud of her. Very proud of her. But you know that Nick is going to hold that grudge forever and ever and ever. But it's like, dude, you weren't going to save her. So why are you so upset that she outed you? And little do you know, your alliance already knows what you and Bella have been doing. So while you won this HOH, that next week, y'all are in trouble. Unless, of course, Bella somehow wins HOH. Hopefully that doesn't happen. You have to spend like a whole week listening to her twist around stories and lie and lie and lie. But anyway, we get down to the actual live vote. Cliff, Kat, Nicole, Bella, Nick, Sam, Annalise, Holly, Christy, and Tommy all voted to evict Kimmy. Some of them seemed sad to do it, and it was just like, are you guys really, really sad? Or do you want us to pick you guys as AFP? Or you want us to not go so hard on you when you come outside of the house for the things that you've done in this game? Could be either or. Personally, I was just like, all right, just vote her out and keep it moving. All of a sudden, Jackson threw a hinky vote, and he didn't vote for Kimmy. He voted for Jessica, the person he's supposed to be close to. Because don't you remember in the last episode, he said that Jessica's like his mom. He doesn't want to see her leave the house. So what was that about? Probably to cause chaos, because for those of you who don't have the feeds, Jack and Jackson, there's tension there. Hell, there's tension in Grateful. There's tension in the 6-shooter alliance. That's basically Grateful without Bella and Nick. There's just tension, tension, tension. I was a little bit shocked, but then I said, yeah, I forgot. He's kind of sick of Jack at this point. And then Kimmy ends up being the 3rd member to head to Camp Comeback. Is she upset? Yes, but she handled it with grace. She didn't go off. She didn't say anything slick. She was fine. But again, Nick and Bella were upset. It was pretty funny to see Nick say, let's just get this over with. I want Kimmy out, and then go on. And then Bella's just like, gladly put her out. And I'm just like, Bella, weren't you trying to save her like 24 hours ago? Like, what are you doing? You're just floundering around in this house at this point. So we get to the HOH competition, which was basically like throwing giant darts at a target. So Annalise was the first person to have a high score. She had 50. She was knocked out by Christy, who had 65, and then knocked out by Nick. Part of me, because he had 90, and part of me believed at that point nobody was going to beat Nick. I knew once he hit 90, I knew it was a wrap. So Jessica, Sam, Jackson, Tommy, Cliff, Bella, Kat, and Nicole, and Holly were all basically disqualified for not going higher than Nick. And I was looking at some of them playing, and I was like, some of you guys really threw this competition because you don't want that HOH, especially Tommy and Jackson. But one day, when Jackson finally wins HOH, that's when it's really going to get interesting. Especially when he has to go against, or should I say, did I say Jackson wins the HOH? Yeah, when Jackson wins the HOH, it's going to be very, very interesting to watch him go against the rest of his alliance, especially Jack. It's going to be a fight to the death. So Nick ends up being the new HOH, and I'm just like, you mean Jack is HOH again for another week? And he was still upset about what Kimmy said. And I'm like, dude, let it go. You were not going to save her. At no time did he second guess the idea to get rid of Kimmy. Kimmy had done nothing to him. The only thing he heard was Bella's lie. And yet he still had this vendetta against Kimmy. That's why I was like, you know, that interview that he did was crap. Because clearly the true Nick seems to be showing. And he's very petty. And I was just like, y'all didn't think she would call you out after all the things that you've done? Like, come on. And Bella was all upset. I'm like, dude, you tanked her game. Be happy she didn't tell more of what you did. So, all of a sudden, Julie Chen started interviewing them. And I'm just like, Julie, what are you doing? Because I know in the past, when she interviewed people, she had the tendency to get them to say things, and those people ended up getting a target on them. Julie's very shady like that. I love you, Julie Chen Moonves, but you're shady like that. So you are the queen of shade. So Jessica basically told Julie Chen that staying in the house was better than the $5,000. I'm like, it won't be when you end up in Camp Chaos. Or is it Camp Comeback? I don't know why I said Camp Chaos. Camp Comeback. Kimmy, she spoke to, I think, for the longest, because Julie Chen asked her how she was feeling, especially after the vote of like 10-1. She said it is what it is. She's not surprised. And Julie Chen was like, well, what is it? And Kimmy really didn't go into what it was, and I was so happy she really didn't answer. She's just like, I was Not surprised by any of this. It is what it is. And then Julie Chen said, you know, Kimmy's going to look good in her camp comeback costume. And then Tommy, she talked to Tommy, and Tommy talked about how his family, like he missed his family. His family was called the Functioning Dysfunctionals, and how he missed his mom's cooking. No shade to anybody's cooking in the house. And I was just like, Julie, what you doing? What you doing? Especially talking to Tommy. What's production up to? What are y'all about to do? These feeds are going to be interesting this weekend. They're going to be golden. I'm all here for it. I'm Sage Valentine. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch this review. Check me out on Tuesdays via the TV Koah app, which is free. You just sign up. You find me, Sage Valentine 84, and you watch me live talk all about Big Brother. And you can kind of like video chat in or video in, and we can talk about it. And I'll accept, and we can chat. It is what it is, but I love you guys. Take care, and I'll be back on Sunday to do another review. So, bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.